we doing today, boys?
Not bad.
How are you?
I'm going through it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Guys, we got 2 fresh haircuts at the table. One a little more noticeable than others.
Really? Oh,
Well, I
his?
mean, just because I'm so used to yours being short, I'm used to
Okay.
Patrick's,
That's fair enough.
Being all mop-like.
big
Yeah.
bird's nest.
I mean, for a while, you were doing like the whole man bun business, right? You were doing like just tying it up or...
Honestly, there came a point where I was just doing it because I wasn't taking care of my hair,
just getting it out of the
and
way.
I'm just gonna tie it back. It looks fine like this, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Who told you it looked fine? I'm curious.
Nobody.
After that, he went to the clown wig,
Yeah.
where it
But
was just kind
clown
of
wig.
puffy at the bottom.
Oh, like
Clown wig? Is that what you just called it? Clown wig?
I thought it was more overgrown poodle, but
I was gonna say, I think like I didn't mind if you compared the wild look, like the down here versus like tied up. The tied up looked much more clean to me, so I don't think that was that bad. But this I like much more than both of those things.
I thought you said
I'm
you
with
liked
that.
I thought you said you liked the slicked back better.
And that was nice too. I like that a lot,
okay.
quite a bit. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That and this.
Because in fact, you said to me that you said before they got here.
Slick
that
back
this
was my
is your-
favorite?
You said the slick back was your favorite, but today you said this is your favorite.
I think I like that more than the slick back.
Oh,
Potentially.
okay.
I think I'd have to see both back to back, but like they're very close. Those two look nice on you for sure.
Yeah. I was on Instagram the other day, and you guys were just talking about this, but yeah,
Yeah.
Sugar Sean and what's his name?
Aljamain Sterling.
Aljamain Sterling.
135,
go.
135 pound belt.
Is
Yeah.
that's for the belt?
That's for the belt. Yeah. It's gonna be a big
Sean
one.
O'Malley's winning it.
I think so.
Sean O'Malley's gonna be the undisputed champion, and honestly, if he wins it, I think I'm just gonna buy a sweater.
A
Just
sweater,
some- just
like
some
a Sugar
merch.
Sean sweater.
A Sugar Sean.
They're
Sweater?
not very nice.
no, just any random sweater. He's just gonna buy
I'm
one.
just gonna treat myself by a sweater.
Patrick,
That's
Use an excuse. Yeah.
he's got some silly merch.
Really?
It's
I
like
some of
it's
cool.
all neon colors.
He has a couple of merch drops that'll be like pink and green. It'll be like
Yeah.
watermelon colors. We'll have like a pink and baby blue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
he
you
has some cool
are you
stuff.
saying I can't wear it with anything?
It's not something you can like. It's like a pajama sweater in my opinion. Like you wear it when you go to bed.
What?
Yeah.
You wear
I
sweaters when you go to
disagree.
bed? You
No,
fool?
like let's say it's nighttime. You just want to put something on.
You're not
It's
making-
just
you're not
some-
making any
It's just
sense.
something you're gonna put on.
Do you guys know? I don't know if you guys know this. I know Marek probably knows this, but Malcolm listens, or he used to listen to nature noises.
No,
Going to bed.
thunderstorms.
And what's wrong with
or
that?
the ocean.
Thunderstorms. That's called psychopathic.
By the way, I think
No, it's
you're.
not.
Did you listen to
It's called
thunderstorms?
therapeutic.
Like literally, if you check my phone right now, it's like cued.
Cued. For when
Yeah.
you go to
I
bed.
like it.
Thunderstorms.
Thunderstorms,
Rain.
fireplace, wind, falling snow.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have
Oh,
like
falling
underwater.
snow, baby.
Wait.
Now,
Waves.
now remind me, Marek. Remind me.
Can I just interrupt before we
Um,
continue?
okay.
Your birds are loud in my ear right now.
TV.
Oh.
You didn't take them.
Okay, after the cold open, we'll move them somewhere.
Yeah,
I
'cause
actually
you said
heard
na-
them
you
in
said-
another episode.
After this, we'll put them
Yeah.
outside.
Because he said nature noises, and I was like, well, am I hearing things?
yeah.
I hear
Yeah,
Patrick.
that
I heard
was
birds.
the cue. That was
Patrick.
the cue I had.
Yeah.
Oh, the screen.
When did that turn off?
I don't
Like
know.
2 seconds
Oh
ago.
my God, Matthew, the show's falling apart without you.
Yeah, he's not that good.
Help!
Just before we exit out of this, Marek, you were defending the use of nature noises, but I just want to inquire: would you describe yourself as someone who has trouble sleeping?
Not
Simply
recently.
yes or no?
Not
Not
recently.
recently.
No,
Okay,
not
then I-
recently.
then I
the
rescind-
nature sounds help.
Okay, then I rescind my question.
Good.
All right, let's get into it, boys. Hello, and welcome back to episode 20 of Wildly Adequate, the show about everything, anything, and usually nothing. As you guys may have seen in the cold open, we mentioned that Matthew is not with us.
Thank God.
He's passed.
I'd like to give a big warm... Oh my God, I'm already fumbling with words. I'd like to give a big warm welcome to Mr. Marek Walczak, our guest for today.
I'm imagining like background clapping.
Yeah,
in
I
the-
want some
in the
claps.
We
video.
can get Maddie to add that in post. How are you feeling to be on the show, Marek?
After being
Pretty
mentioned
good.
so many times
good.
over all the episodes.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you
Honestly,
seen?
yeah.
I have been told. So I've seen 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And almost every time I come up,
Yeah.
Adriano texts me saying that I've come up, and then I'll just go watch the episode that I've come up in, and I'll be like, "What are they saying? What are they saying?"
No, yeah, you've come up in, like, if I were to guess, maybe 7 episodes, 8 episodes.
Just
like
one-
even if it's like his name or like
Yeah.
a reference, like
Yeah.
just
Like, or like,
or Merrick. Yeah, just
Or
it's
recently, even there was one topic where Maddie brought a bunch of different graphic novels for us to read, like new ones that he thinks we might be interested in.
Yeah.
And I was talking about mine, and there's one main character named Merrick, but it's like Marik. I don't know if it's
Ah.
Marik or Merrick or whatever, but then we talked about that, and we were like
Marik.
talking about that. Yeah.
But yeah, so welcome. We hope you
In the flesh.
enjoy the show. Welcome in the flesh. Everyone can now see the face that is Merrick.
Oh yes.
But yeah, so let's get started with today's show, everybody. I think we're starting with Mr. Swaza.
That guy.
Take us away.
So today, I honestly just came up with it on like the way home. But
That checks out.
I want to talk about the little things.
What does that
And
mean?
what I mean by that is like the little things in your day that kind of just like make it a little bit better and like make you a little bit happier.
Mm.
Start us off.
Can you give us an
Okay,
example?
for example, one small thing that I look forward to every day is finishing my workout at 6 a.m. and getting in my car and eating a protein bar.
Oh,
It makes me
nice.
happy to just sit there and just eat it and drive home.
Mm.
You sit there and finish the whole bar
No,
before
like
driving.
I drive, like I get in the car, unwrap it. I'm like, all right, I'm happy now.
Mm.
Put on some music and I drive home and eat my protein bar,
Mm.
and I'm happy.
Yeah. Just one second. What are you looking at?
Him?
No, you weren't.
Oh, I was listening. I don't know. I'm absorbing the information and
because
visualizing.
you looked really like engrossed.
It
in
was, you know what it was? It was
Mm.
because I went to the gym with him at 6 a.m. I was visualizing
did?
him eating the. Oh yeah, all the time.
You've been going with it?
No, like 3 times.
Oh,
I say
okay.
all the time. It was 3 times and then I stopped. I was
Every
like,
day.
it's too early for this.
Bro, come with me. I go in the afternoon or evenings.
See, like
I
a
don't do
normal, like what do you?
Well, 'cause
no,
he-
I know.
I used to go with him. And then he started working his job. So like now he goes like bright and early in the morning.
Yeah.
But I usually have shifts between like 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So I don't like going that early. I like going at like 6. It's kind of like prime time, so it kind of sucks. But at the same time, I don't want to wake up that early.
Yeah.
So
Mine's the actual prime time.
what do you mean?
It's not
That
too
goes-
busy.
It's the
to be
prime time to
fair.
go to the gym. It's not
Yeah.
busy.
Oh, I see what you mean. I'm saying
Yeah.
like prime for
Yeah,
traffic.
it's prime time. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like people. So
Me
I don't
either.
I don't want to.
Some guy on the other day was on the bench. He was doing bench press and he was on there for 30 minutes. At least 30 to 35 minutes, and I was like
You wouldn't like
halfway
me in
done
the
my
gym.
workout.
You wouldn't like me.
Don't get me wrong. I don't mind someone be on the machine for a while or any bench or something, but he was just like talking 50% of the time. So I was
Ah.
like, okay.
Are you guys particular about people wiping down their machines?
No, I don't really care.
Not
about
anymore.
Oh, I always wipe
I
my
don't care anymore.
I
you
appre-
don't. So wait. You guys don't wipe down your machines, and you also don't care if other people wipe.
Well,
down
here's
your
the thing.
machines.
To me, I don't like if there's like clear sweat drenched that I got on there, then I'll find a paper towel. But most of the time, I don't drench it, and then also I don't mind when people don't clean it, but I appreciate when they clean it.
For me, during COVID, when they kind of opened up the thing, I was like, all right, I understand. I'll do it. And at Fit for Less, it was really easy because they had paper towels and sprayers everywhere.
Yeah,
At LA Fitness, they don't have shit.
Yeah, they just have
a
paper towel.
hand sanitizer and soap, and you can take it if you want and kind of mix it into a paper towel if you want. I'm like, I'm not gonna go through the effort. I'm not that sweaty, so I'll leave it.
I am that sweaty, so I do it.
Mm.
Yeah, that's.
There you go.
Okay.
What were we talking?
We were talking about the little
His protein
things.
bar
His protein
that I was
bar.
staring at, like I was
Mm.
envisioning, like I've seen him eat the protein bar, is what I'm saying, and I was
Mm.
just getting a mental
Yes.
image to it.
And like
but-
the little things doesn't have to be as little as like a protein bar. Like it can just be like some like a part of your schedule. It just makes your day better.
I have one that
Can it-
immediately jumps to mind if you don't mind me
Yeah,
jumping
go
in.
for it.
So for me, it's like making my bed, and like after I made my bed, and then I get home from work and I open my room and it's like decently clean and my bed's made. That feels good. I don't like when I come home and like my room's a mess. So the little thing of like walking in and everything's organized, I feel like at peace and I can just like play my game or just relax for a little bit. You know, that's one for me.
I think I have one closer to Malcolm. Like I love coming back from the gym and just like walking into my fridge and making like a chocolate milk from like the Nesquik. Bro, I chug that thing in like less than 10 seconds. Like it's gone.
Chocolate milk's amazing. I
It's
love chocolate milk.
fantastic.
It goes down easy.
For me, there's just so many little things in my life. I mean, it's so hard to pick.
The twinkle in her eye.
The twinkle. I was gonna say the smile she gives me. The twinkle in her eye. No, I'm alone. I have no one in my life.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was
mine,
gonna.
right?
I was gonna say.
You say want want? You seen that clip?
Yeah.
I was gonna say chocolate muffins with honey slathered all over them.
That's so gross.
That's a little thing in your day.
The little thing. Every day.
When
Yeah,
they're-
I was gonna say daily.
when they're no, not daily, but when I do have them, when they're like in the house. Okay, when we have them in the house, we get them in like sets of 12.
Damn,
and
committing,
like-
huh? You're committing.
Of course you do.
You can't back out at that point.
Okay. And so when we have them in stock, then yes, usually it's like
In stock.
once every day.
There shouldn't be that many that you
once
have to
every
call
2
it
days.
stock.
Amazon.
Yeah, right. You know you have a problem when you start calling it stock.
But not only that, I have to have it with a cup of milk.
You have to.
I have to.
Mandatory.
I've never had
Chocolate
it.
muffin,
Dude,
honey
that
on
sound-
top.
I've never
milk.
had it without a milk.
Dude, that sounds
cup of
like the
milk.
most. That sounds like the most like. I mean, I feel like my mouth would be so dry. You got the muffin, you got this dry ass chocolate muffin, you got honey all over it, and that's like kind of molasses.
I think I'd be eating like this.
Yeah. And then you got the milk, which is kind of like very thick.
Oh, oops! Milk is dry.
No, not
Oops.
dry. I'm talking about like the kind of like salivary
Do you
experience of
consider it wet?
Yeah.
Is water wet?
Yeah. No. Yes.
So
Maybe.
is milk a water-based substance?
It is.
So would you also call it wet?
Yes.
it. But you know what I'm saying in terms of like milk is very. If you get like 2% or more,
Yeah.
it's like mucusy kind of. It's like thicker, right? It's
Yeah.
not. It's not like
3%
it's
Yeah,
not
but
like
it's not.
water.
It's
starts
not.
getting
It's not dry.
It's not dry, but I feel like it kind of coats your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like milk coats your mouth.
Have you ever-
I'll agree with that.
Yeah. So
Like-
I'm saying that combined with like the thick molassesy honey versus and then also like the thick chocolatey cake. It's like a lot of thickness going on.
Have you ever? That's curious to me. Have you ever heard of milk and honey, like that pairing?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay, so
Isn't
then
it a
what's-
poetry book?
Is that a poetry book?
It is a poetry.
Well, I think there's
Oh,
I think there's a biblical thing of like the land of milk and honey. I
Yeah.
think it's a
there you
biblical
go.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is that what you're referring to, or a
No, I was
poetry book?
the actual poetry book.
Oh, okay. No, I
Milk and honey. I'm like 90. All the white girls read it. I think.
oh, the white girls read it.
All I'm,
is
all
that-
I'm
it's one of
saying.
those-
Yeah,
you
go
You
ahead.
can go.
No, I was saying, all I'm gonna say is that after having what you're describing, I would need to drink a gallon of water.
You've
no
never
less.
had what I'm describing.
If I'm just
And in
imagining,
fact,
I'm just imagining it.
You boys better buckle up because I might
Don't feed
I
it
might
to
have to
me.
make it a topic.
Don't feed it to me.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, what elicited this topic in your mind?
I don't know. Like
Just
I'm
driving
usually,
home.
I don't know
Were you
because like because
scraping the bottom of the barrel?
Because I really just look forward to going to the gym so much every morning. And
Really?
the gym is also one of those like little things for me. Like
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm happy to be waking up at 4:30 in the morning
Damn, man.
and taking pre-workout and like being awake and going to the gym. Like it makes me happy.
Fuck. I might have to. I might try going with you once in the morning, just to see what it's like, because I feel like it would be horrendous. And also, I watch a lot of movies at night, and so I feel like I wouldn't be able to do the things I like at night because I have to sleep earlier.
That's part of it for sure.
Yeah.
'Cause that's why I stopped going with him because I
Mm.
usually stay up a little later, like
Sure.
midnights about it. But
And you get like 4 hours of sleep. It's not enough.
Yeah, I want to go to bed around 9:30. I usually fall asleep around 10:30,
Mm.
which isn't that bad. It's
Still
like
better
6
than
hours.
midnight
6 hours
1
isn't
a.m.
bad.
Mm.
Gets me through.
I feel like I'm like a really depressed human being because I can't think of the little things that make me happy in life, or maybe not self-reflective. I don't know.
I
Well,
think
do
you
you
just
look
gotta go
forward-
to the gym.
Do you look forward to
Oh.
doing the podcast?
Yeah. I feel
All
like-
right. Do you look forward to anything else?
Hold on.
Let's move on. He didn't say yes.
But is that a little thing in our lives though?
I guess so.
No, but
I
by
guess
the-
it depends on how you define.
I don't
little
think
at this point.
what I got from what you're saying is like mundane things in life that aren't
Yeah.
necessarily like, they're not like, it's not like a topical thing. It's just like an average thing of daily life. So I wouldn't consider this like
I guess so.
an
Yeah, I
everyday,
guess you're like an average thing. Of
Also,
daily
this
life.
is once a week, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
okay.
thinking of, like,
I
everyday
get what
things.
you mean.
to me, I'll throw another one out, and maybe that'll jog your memory or something. But like one for me is folding laundry. I like having clean laundry and folding it all, and then feeling like good about myself after that.
Yeah,
It smells nice, and
I like the therapeutic part of it. Like
Yeah.
some days I would just like pop in headphones or throw Netflix
Sure.
on, and I'll just start folding laundry out of my bed, and it'll be
peaceful.
like a whole pile in front of me. But then after, I'm just like so zen.
See, the thing about laundry for me is, and I've had this conversation with Marek before, I need to, whenever I do my laundry, I have to steam or iron every single article of clothing, and
Else
it just
it'll
makes
wrinkle,
it
huh?
dreadful for me.
You know,
Yeah.
if you just take it out of the dryer, like when it's done and it's still hot, and
You
you
hang
fold
it?
it, you
Or you
don't,
can-
you don't have to steam it all after.
Yeah, I've been
Who has
not.
the time to do that?
I've been not drying everything. I got a big clothing rack in my house, and I just start
Mm.
hanging all my clothes.
see, that's the
away?
thing.
So they,
Sometimes,
yeah, just so they don't. Not when they dry. When they're wet, done in the washer.
oh, you just
Oh, you don't even put them in
I
the
don't put them in the dryer anymore because everything.
They don't come out wrinkly.
Hmm?
No.
They don't. They're
no,
not
the
wrinkly
washer
after.
in the washer they're soaking, like they're wet,
Yeah.
and then he just hangs them, and then they just like dry it
Yeah.
on the hanger.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Also, do you do that with all your clothes? I feel like
Just
that would
like
take
just like
forever.
my favorite clothes.
Okay,
like,
sure.
Like the stuff for like the gym and socks and underwear, I just leave in there.
But
and
your
work
best shirt,
shirts.
like you're going out shirts.
Like this, I put on the drying rack and it dried perfectly.
Where'd you get that shirt?
I asked them the same thing.
I thrifted it in Toronto.
Oh, when?
Isabel actually picked it out for me. She
I
was
like the
in it.
chains you're wearing too. One of them is mine.
I actually got. This is a new pendant I got,
Yeah.
and this is a new chain I got from that silver
so none
store.
of them are. Oh, okay.
You
Yeah, no,
dressed up
this one,
nice
this
for you
one,
today.
this one's yours. This
Oh,
one's yours.
okay.
And then this one's.
Oh, the chain that the pendant is on is what's new.
is yours. No, that's yours.
Oh, that's mine.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks nice.
I'm gonna start doing that.
What's on the pendant?
I'm at the clothes
Honestly, I
thing.
can't really tell what's on the pendant. It's hard to see.
Well, you don't know what's on the pendant?
Something biblical.
Okay.
What if, unbeknownst to him, there was a swastika on it?
It looks like a pope or something.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
don't know. I think it's baby Jesus.
Worth wearing.
Maybe Jesus?
Yeah. That's what it looks like. There's a little kid and there's a bunch of.
Okay.
I have
Some
another one.
Reiki
I have,
like going on.
I have another one to throw out
Sure.
to give anyone ideas. I enjoy coming home every day, and only I go up to my room, and Isabel's gonna be there, and I get a hug every day. I just get a
Aw.
hug.
Aw.
Oh, I'm sick to my stomach. That's sweet. I mean, I'll throw one out too.
I mean, hold on, but just
Yeah.
before you go, you know, I did mention that I'm alone and I'm sad and alone. And
Are you gonna
Sad
keep
and alone.
reminding everybody?
and upset and alone and sad and
so
alone.
I feel like you kind of like brought that up and sort of.
Jabbed.
I'm not trying to
Rubbed
jab
it-
you.
rubbed it in a little bit.
I'm just.
It's like a cigarette and like you put it out on
There
my
you go.
It's a good burn.
on the wound that I opened, self-inflicted. Yes.
Maybe you should get a dog, because
I want.
Oh,
do
there you
you
go.
understand how
When
badly
I-
I want a dog?
when I come down the stairs, like the second my dog, I'm usually the first one to wake up, and the second my dog hears me like open my door, he's standing at the bottom, like little butt wiggles, and then he's like, "Oh my god, hi!" And then I'm just like, "Hey!" And then he sprints to the couch and waits for me there. And it's
Yeah.
like it's
It's like I would
It's
imagine it's a
super
feeling.
fun.
I would imagine it's a feeling of like, you know, at the end of the day, like this thing loves me and cares about me.
Yeah,
I feel like it's probably a good
unconditionally
feeling.
as well.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
I actually.
Yeah, I love your dog.
That reminded me of one.
Yeah.
When I go home from work every day, I always yell like at the top of my lungs, "Frosty!" Like I go, "Frosty!" as loud as I can. I know he can't hear me anymore because he's gone a little bit deaf and he's always sleeping on the couch.
Aw.
So
Oh, okay.
so he doesn't come running to me anymore. I just go find him and then I go pet him and see how happy he is.
Yeah,
Mm.
I see.
Yeah, that's a little.
oh.
It's a nice one I
Okay,
have.
so making salient that I have no one in my life, making salient that I don't have a dog in my life. Okay, let's keep going.
Maybe you should go find someone and find a dog.
I think if you find a dog, you'll also find some easy way to pick up chicks.
You're right.
You gotta start walking your dog
So what's
around.
your- Sorry, I don't know why. I'm sorry. I'm
Brutal.
gonna stop myself. I didn't even finish the
So what's
sentence.
Rebel doing later?
Okay.
You gotta find a dog, and you also gotta find a animal companion. It didn't land that well.
No, I
Landed?
It landed,
Okay.
but
It was bad.
I'm gonna leave
Okay,
it.
so
I'm gonna
Not
leave it.
not good taste. I'll say
So
that
Patrick
much.
doesn't have anything to add to this topic.
Yeah, he has no little things.
Okay, give me one more second to think about the little things.
Sure.
Riff about something real quick.
I think a little thing is that your car starts every morning.
This is gonna
What
sound
about-
super? Okay. go
what,
ahead.
what about music? Any sort of music gets you in a good mood or something?
What about a steamy dump?
Oh, boy.
Like, you have a
Patrick makes it a personal goal to not enjoy everything.
I enjoy a lot of things, but I'm having trouble.
Prove it.
He'll
Like
just
what's?
Prove
he'll
it.
find himself like starting to enjoy something. He's like, stop it. don't enjoy it.
Damn. What did I say? What was my answer?
don't remember.
Honey muffins.
yeah, honey muffin.
Honey muffins are something small in life that I like.
Only
Something
when they're in
like-
stock.
When they're in stock in my home, yes. Okay, I guess we'll just. Are you satisfied with this? I actually have nothing else to contribute.
I'm satisfied. I mean,
Is there anything else you want to add?
No,
Any
I think
other little things you like?
little things
What did
I
you
like.
say? You said nothing as well.
Me?
Yeah.
you did.
Bro,
What'd you say? You said the gym.
I said chocolate milk after gym and
Yeah.
then my dog.
Oh, okay. You said two things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you said anything?
I said one thing.
I mean,
I said one thing that you guys made fun of, but.
Oh, the muffin thing. Yeah, I mean,
The muffin man.
I feel like another thing. I mean, I'm gonna match Malcolm here in a way, but like calling Vanya at night. That's pretty nice. That's about it. Yeah, those are my things.
That's it.
All right, let's get out of here.
Let's leave this sad topic.
Patrick's gonna cry in between topics.
So, gluttony makes Patrick happy. Patrick?
That's the little thing that makes him happy.
Yeah.
One of the 7 deadly sins makes me happy.
Being a
Yes.
glutton.
Honestly,
What are the other
I
deadly
wish I
sins?
could refute that. Lust,
Mm-hmm.
Pride,
Farting.
farting, every episode.
Added to
Some
his little
reason.
things.
Guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I have 3 gentlemen at the table who
Yeah.
all work out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have a great struggle in finding the motivation, the drive to get myself consistently at the gym. So I'd like to open the floor here. What exactly makes you guys so consistent at the gym? Like, what is it? Like, are you guys working towards something, or is it
I think
I want to maintain my body? Yeah.
I think for me it was like it probably started where I didn't like the way I looked in the mirror in terms of like my body. I wanted it to look different. It looked too round around the edges and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I want to look more toned. So I started going to the gym for that reason. And then also Malcolm was going to the gym, so I was like, I'm going to tag along and then I'm going to look better. And then it slowly morphed into like kind of half wanting to improve the way I looked and then half feeling good when I was there and doing stuff. And then like after I'm done a workout, I feel mentally accomplished. And then I also feel physically like, I don't know, it's just like a satisfying feeling. And then also it's, yes, I think ultimately it's like a productivity thing for me. I just feel productive and I feel good and then I look better. So it's like all 3 of those things working together. And then when I think about like what motivates me every day, it's like I think to myself, go, because afterwards you're going to feel better and you're going to look better and you're going to be motivated and you're going to be like, you know, you're going to feel productive about your day and your day is going to be overall better. That's how I think about it generally.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what like what Mark's saying. Like I started at the gym like in like high school, to be fair, and like we would do morning weights like at like 6:30 with like D'Souza, and like once I started going, by the end of high school I was already on like this autopilot where we just kind of like kept going. And then once university started and joining like the footy team and everything, like I was just like got to the point where it was just like 8 a.m. you're on field and already ready to go. And if I started missing workouts, it's like, whoa, like I feel off today. Like I don't know, like I gotta do something. I gotta hit the gym. I gotta run, or something's gotta happen. And like now that like university here was done and I went to Poland, I was still like, I started waking up. It was like 8 a.m. and I would go to the gym. It was like right across the street, but like it would be like an everyday thing, like 8 a.m. gym. Like the second my eyes opened, it was just like, you know, brush my teeth, throw the shoes on and walk over. And there was days even like I would be like hella hungover and I was just even autopilot at that point. Like people are like, oh, how'd you go to the gym at 8, man? And I'm like, honestly, I got there and I was still like eyes closed and I just started going and I'm just like, yep, I'm here. Time to work out.
It's like muscle memory at some point, I guess.
So it's interesting to me that you say that, because in that regard, you and I have had very similar trajectories of starting the gym and then like in university with the soccer teams or whatever. But we're here at 2 different places now.
Also,
where you're still like, I arguably formed that muscle memory over the years that I went, but now look where we both ended up.
And I'm the opposite. I didn't start working out ever until literally last year. And so you were already gone. It was like it was kind of like I didn't start working out until I was out of university. I was done, which was last year. So like, or like when I was finishing my last semester. So to me, it was an opposite experience of I wish I had done it in high school, and I kind of like always kind of regret it a little bit. It's not a big deal because I'm in it now, and I feel good about it now. But part of me always wishes I started to build that good habit before, so that I'm like more advanced now and I can do more now. Because I kind of see other people my age and they're able to do a little bit more, push more, and I'm like I'm pushing myself to like the max that I can personally do, but I wish I was like further along already. So I'm kind of impatient with that. But yeah.
Malcolm, do you want to tap in?
For me, it started like I was working out in high school, but I kind of fell off a little bit at the end of high school, and then I kind of regained it in university when I wasn't as fit as I could have been for soccer, and so my coaches were kind of pushing it on me, like working out and running more, and so I started going to the gym a lot, and I was just really loving the way I felt and like doing something every day. And just like they said, like when I don't go to the gym, I just feel like something from my day was missing. Like I should have done more with myself. Like I just felt like I took an easy way out or something.
You know what's interesting? It's like now that I'm doing it, I don't remember what I was doing with my time before. Because now it's like by the time I'm like leaving my house and about to the time I come home, it's like a 2-hour period of like working out, and then I try to do a little bit of cardio, and then I do sauna, and then I go home, and then I'm like, that whole process takes a couple of hours, and I'm like, what was I doing in that couple of hours
Oh yeah.
before I started work? It was like nothing, probably just like
Yeah.
at home, like, you know, playing a game or something, which is, I still do that, but I find more enjoyment in the game now than I did before. Because I was able to play, like, in high school, I'd play video games like all day. After I finished my homework, I just play all day. And it kind of felt like at some point the enjoyment level went down because it was just a normal part of my day. It was like every single day for hours. But now it's like I feel like it's more rare to play a video game for a good stretch of time. So I appreciate it more, and then I also feel better. So it's like a win-win for me in that regard. But
Two things. Are you gonna say something?
You can go first. I'll just keep going when you're done.
I could be wrong, but I think you tapping the table is getting picked up by the mics.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
the first thing. No worries. The second thing is, I was reflecting on this because I wanted to sort of get to your motivations as to why you guys are so consistent in the gym. And for me, I was thinking about myself, especially with regards to how our trajectories are similar. For me, the motivation originally was be fit for soccer. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed ever since that wasn't sort of a priority anymore. That's when I stopped. And I've been trying to shift it to, be healthy, or you want a nice body or whatever.
Interesting.
But it's like, it's not latching, those mentalities aren't latching me to the gym for whatever reason.
No, and I think sorry, I'm going to interrupt because I wouldn't say that mine was be fit for footy.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't say it was be fit for footy. It was be the fittest on the team. Like be the strongest in this. Like my thing was I always had to make up ground because I was always like, bro, you're telling a keeper who's like 6 inches shorter than everyone to like get the spot, right?
So you want to like compensate
so
for
I had
it.
to double down with workload to beat it, right?
Mm.
And by the end, like I got the team record for the bench, and then I had like, you know, I'm up on a wall now, my name's up there, and it's like
Okay,
like
but now there's like no. So are you saying you still pursue with the mentality? I need to be the strongest. I need to be the fastest. I need to be because who are you competing against at this point?
honestly
Yourself?
not competing with anyone. Like with me, like I'd say now if you're asking me in this time why it's different, now it's more like I can't sit still and try to study. Like I can't even begin to study if I don't go run in the morning or if I don't go to the gym. Like some days I'll be like, okay, gym at 8 a.m. Now I can go do all of my classes, and then in the evening it's like, oh, I gotta study.
I'm sorry, I'm smiling because Patrick was looking at your hand when you were tapping
yes,
it.
yes, okay, hands are down here. But yeah, like
And it's natural for me too. I didn't even realize I was doing it.
yeah, I'm just gonna sit on them now. But yeah, like at the end of the day, I'll like if I'm antsy and I know I won't be able to fall asleep, it's like 11 p.m. and like my roommate would look at me and be like, yo, are you leaving on a run? And I'm like, yeah, I can't sleep. And like by the end of the year, he was like, oh, it's normal. He's just going for his 11:30 p.m. run because he can't sleep after studying, right? Like it's
Yeah, I think to me a part of it too is like I felt like for a while the first few times, like the first few months really, when I was going with Malcolm a lot at Fit for Less, I wasn't really seeing that. Like, you know, you see a lot of people say you see your results like not quick, but like in the first 6 months or whatever. And to me, it was like the first few weeks were really tough because it was like my body wasn't used to this. It was really tough. Mentally, it was draining. Physically, it was draining, and I wasn't seeing results right away, obviously. So like I felt like I had to push through that first like good chunk of time. And then once I started seeing a little bit of something, like I saw like my chest, like my pectoral muscle actually start to form a little bit. I was like, holy shit, I don't have like, you know, man boobs anymore as much. So it was one of those things where I kind of like liked that progress. And I feel like maybe but the thing is like you're not like level 0 because you worked out for so many years before. Yeah. So like I understand how it may feel weird for you because it's like you may not feel like you're starting from the beginning or whatever, so you don't feel like you need to see progress because you already don't mind the way you look, I guess, you know?
It's not that I mean, I don't really mind the way I look, but to be honest with you, these months of not doing anything have started to, like, you guys can tell me, maybe I do look a little bit different, but I definitely feel, like, different. Like, my body feels,
well, I wouldn't,
for lack of a better word, gross, almost.
Like softer?
Not softer. Like, I just feel like
unhealthy, kind of?
I don't know how to verbalize it.
I think I know what
other
you
than
mean.
gross, like my stomach, my love handles.
Well,
like
I don't.
Even,
well, I was gonna say I don't see any difference because I don't like. it's one of those things where I don't often see you without a shirt or whatever. So I don't like your face doesn't look any different to me. But so like only you would know personally like your kind of like small differences in your body, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'd say maybe your pecs have kind of deflated a little bit.
Deflated a little bit. Yeah.
What I was gonna say though is, now that I'm not in like the same space as I was before, the reason I go is because like I still have a goal of I still want to play soccer, and so I still want to be the fittest, and not only like be fit and be able to lift weights and stuff, but I also want to I just want to look good. Like I was in the place before where I didn't look good at all, and I'd look at myself in the mirror, I'd be like, that's gross. Like I don't want to look at myself and be like this. And so like I want to look good, and now even though I've made so much progress, I still want to look better, and I want to look every time I go to the gym, every time I see progress, I just want to be better and better and better and just look as the best I can.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a big part
It's just a confidence booster.
So what would you say to people like myself who want to find that motivation but are lacking it, and the answer isn't I want to look good?
I have one for you. I'd say go do what I didn't do, what a lot of people do, which is go with a friend. Go with someone who goes a lot. Go with someone who's gonna like, you know, remind you to go, push you to go, call you and be like, hey, let's go. It's not gonna be like, you're not gonna automatically feel like comfortable, like, oh, I want to go. So you're gonna have either to like force yourself, but if that's not working, then I think having an external source is really helpful. Because for me, like, Malcolm will be like, okay, how many times are we going this week? Like, what days are we going? Like, are we working out chest tomorrow or chest on Friday? Like, we plan it out that way. And sometimes in the beginning when I'd feel a little bit lazy, it's okay. When I'd feel a bit lazy, like, he would call me or text me and be like, oh, back tomorrow or legs tomorrow? I'd be like, fuck, I don't want to do legs tomorrow. But he's like, you know, I'm going to pick you up. So it would be one of those things where I think having that external motivation helps to get you into the groove. And then once you're in the groove, then you can start to self-motivate. Because for me, like, Malcolm and I don't go much anymore because of his different scheduling from mine. But, like, he helped me get into that groove, and now I'm able to self-sustain that way.
I agree with Mark with like kind of going with a friend, because it's not just like you're pushing yourself when you're not really able to, like having someone there to like, help you out.
Keep you accountable.
Sure.
And then I was also gonna say, like, if you do that, what might help is just like making a routine of it. Like I've read online that once you do something consistently for 7 weeks, like it's so easy to keep it a routine, and all you gotta do for that 7 weeks is just stick to it, and then eventually you're just gonna end up sticking to it, and you're gonna like it.
Also, another random thing, but to me, sometimes like listening to music that hypes me up will like get me to go to the gym. I'll be at home and I'll like go on Instagram and I'll like watch a video, and it's like someone working out, or even a not non-gym video, but it's like some hype song playing, and then like that song gets me in like a kind of higher energy mood, and then I'm like, I want to go now. Or I'll go on my Spotify and just shuffle through stuff. I'll shuffle through like my rap playlist or, you know, gym playlist, and then once I start feeling that kind of like, oh, this is like upbeat, I just like get up and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go.
Honestly, I agree with him. Like if I see like a gym guy on Instagram, or if I see soccer players on Instagram doing like crazy stuff, I'm like, that's awesome. I want to go to the gym now.
You know that one guy? He's like this Viking looking guy, and he like swings around like a hammer and shit, and he's like, go to the fucking gym. You seen this guy?
Yeah, I know. The guy with longer hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think of that guy. Sometimes I'll just be sitting around and I'll just hear like, get your ass up and go to the fucking gym. I'm like, all right.
Just imagine it's me doing that.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely agree with these guys. Like if you tell someone, even if it's a small goal, like it doesn't have to be like, oh, I want to bench this much, or if I want to look this way. If it's, I want to start going to the gym so I can feel better about, like you're saying, you feel gross. If it's like, I want to go to the gym twice a week this week so that I feel better. And just like, if you tell these guys, go once with each of them, and it's like someone else can be there and keep you accountable. I agree with that. But I actually want to say one more thing. And this is something that I saw from like teammates and stuff. Like, I had teammates who were like, oh, bro, I'm not going to lift today, bro. I can't be bothered. I don't want to. It's so dumb. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, right? Like, it's obviously good for you. It's going to help prevent injuries. Who was injured? The guy who always hated going to the gym, right? And I was like, okay, guys, like, I'm here, and I'm loving it. Like, I'm loving every step of it. So, like, just go there and, like, enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because then it gets so much easier if you're, like, there, like, you're having fun. Like, that's why. If you go with friends, it's more fun. It's more enjoyable, and it's, like, it's one of the reasons, like, Malcolm can have no problem going at 5 a.m., especially if I'm there doing dumb shit with him, right? Like,
you know what's interesting, too? I feel like I don't think about it as a competition necessarily, but I, like, think about going to the gym with Malcolm, and I'm like, he's gonna see how much better I am today than last week. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He's gonna be like, oh shit, like you're lifting like 10 more pounds or 5 more pounds, and I'll be like, yeah, I went up a little bit, and he's like, oh, look at you, and then like we're motivating each other that way of like we're showing each other our progress, and I'm like able to do just one more
little
one
thing.
more rep.
Exactly. A little
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, like I had one of my heaviest lifts. Actually, the one that got me on the wall. It was when the women's team was watching.
There
us.
you go.
They were
Oh,
watching, and I was
yeah.
just like, "Oh man, I feel strong today. I wonder why."
Extra bit of motivation.
Extra bit of the little things.
Okay, well, thank you guys for your input. I found this discussion to be pretty helpful, I think.
Pretty motivational.
I'll make
Dude,
you enjoy it.
I tell, and also like I've told Patrick before, like both of our memberships include like bringing 2 free friends all the time. So like, I've told you to come before, and you've come a couple times, but then I just kind of like
Pause.
you know I feel yeah. So
I
yeah, I think you should.
I feel like we don't hold Patrick accountable enough.
I've tried. I think for a little while I was like, "Hey, you want to go? Hey, you want to go?" And then he just say no. And I'm not blaming you, but I felt like I was like I just kind of let it go.
Just punch you in the
Alright.
neck.
But I enjoyed when you were going with me, and I'd like to do that again for sure. Even also like if
No.
you even if you just wanted to swim too, because there's a pool there. So
That's something. It's still something.
Honestly, I love doing that, swimming.
yeah.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Cool.
What? I have to stop saying that. That's the second time I said that.
That sounds like we're concluding the
Yeah,
whole
it
show.
sounds like we're concluding the whole show.
Sounds
All
like
right,
you don't want to hear me.
All right, we're leaving for now.
we're leaving just for now.
Alrighty. So, you guys know I was in Europe for school. I was in Poland, and like being in Europe is crazy because you get like all different opportunities to travel. Everything is so close and it's so cheap.
Mm.
So I was like, with the opportunity to travel, I noticed how awesome it is to do everything. Sorry, but I was gonna ask. My topic is where is your dream destination? Where would you like to travel?
Can I only pick one?
No, let's hear it. Let's hear
So let's
everything.
just, are we just gonna list off cool places we want
No,
to go
like
to?
why? Where and why?
Where and why?
Okay, let's go.
I mean, the first one that pops to my mind is Japan. I don't.
That's the first one that popped to
I
my
agree
mind
with
as well.
I think for multiple reasons. One, like the food. I want to try all the food in Japan, the sushi, the ramen, the different types of food. I want to try all that. I also think like I'm a fan more of like the big city vibe. Like I want to go to Tokyo. I don't mind like the country kind of more slow areas, but I prefer being in like a hustling, bustling city with different restaurants and like, you know, different shows going on and like, you know, big meetings and stuff. So I prefer that sort of stuff. And then also I just like the kind of like emphasis on technology and like animation and like cool shit that I like and that people in Japan like really value a lot. So I feel like for those reasons.
I'm with you on everything you said. However,
Mm.
I do want to build.
Sure.
We have a friend who recently went to Japan.
We do?
We have someone who
John?
we went to. Oh,
Is it
okay.
John?
We're just gonna name him.
Not John.
Okay, John, someone we went to high school with.
Okay.
He recently went to Japan, and this was the first time his pictures of like his travels was the first time I saw the countryside of Japan, and it looks breathtaking. So not only the big city vibe,
Yeah.
but also the countryside of Japan looks.
I definitely want to see like the cherry blossoms
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah,
you
that's what I
know,
was
like
gonna
the hot springs and stuff. Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot more stuff online about Japan lately, and Japan has like crystal clear water out in the middle of the ocean that I had no idea that they had. I want to go to Mount Fuji. I'd love to see Mount Fuji. I want to see the small little villages of Japan because Japan also apparently has crazy snowboarding.
No
Interesting.
way.
They have crazy.
Be
Like I
serious.
saw videos on Japan snowboarding. There's so much goddamn snow. It's unbelievable how much they have.
Interesting.
Feet and feet and feet of snow.
Oh my
It's crazy.
goodness.
And also, I just want to immerse myself in like a completely different culture.
I was gonna mention that. I was
Like-
gonna say for their culture, I like their vibe. They're very like polite, respectful. They clean up after themselves. They're very like, you know.
The implication of what you're saying is
We're not polite. We don't clean up after
Exactly.
ourselves.
We're not respectful.
I just
we don't
feel
clean
like,
up after
but honestly,
ourselves.
okay, think about. I'll make a comment here. So I work at a mall. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna cut that out. But so I work in a shoe store, and every single day that I'm working, people will come in, try 5 to 10 pairs, and leave the boxes half open, one shoe on the floor, a used sock on the floor. We have like nylon socks. They'll leave the shit all over the place. And then the other day, my assistant manager walked up to someone, was like, "Oh, like, are you guys done with all this stuff?" There was like a mess so huge that there was like tripping hazards in multiple different sections of the store. And like people will try on a new pair of shoes, and they'll leave their old pair of shoes sitting in the aisle, just like smack dab in the middle, just a shoe. So she was like, "Oh, are you guys done with all that stuff?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're done." And the person put on their shoe and just walked out and left like 20 shoes all over the floor. And I'm like, that would never fly in a place like Japan.
What is stop?
You know what I'm saying?
Never.
Never.
Not in Japan.
It would be like
what's-
you would be shunned. I feel like you'd be like socially like it would be socially unacceptable to do
Yeah.
that. People would be like, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
Yeah, I hear you. What's stopping your assistant manager from being like, "Oh, are you guys done with that?" They go, "Yeah." Oh,
Clean-
okay.
clean it up.
You can put that box right back where you found it.
Well, I'll tell you what's stopping. Like reviews is stopping it, and then like head office.
But is there a way to say that politely? Like, "Oh, cool. Yeah,
No,
you can
not-
just
I
put
don't
that back
think
when
there
you're
is,
done."
not
honestly.
really,
I
no,
don't
think
because a lot of people. I was thinking about why people do that sort of thing, and I think it's honestly a mentality of people have certain rules, and you have to follow your rules. That's the way they think. I think the people that do that, I think, in their personal lives, I'm assuming they have people in their lives like family members. This is their rule. This is my role. I'm the man. I'm supposed to provide money and safety or whatever. The woman is supposed to provide this. Like when I go to a place, the worker is supposed to be the person to clean up after me, and like they're under me in terms of hierarchy. I think they think hierarchically. I don't know what the word is. Hierarchically.
Hierarchically.
Yeah, hierarchically. So I think they think in terms of like ranking and like role. So it's like it's not they're like, oh, it's not my place to I don't need to do that. That's like their job. Like
Yeah.
they can do all that sort
The
of shit.
help is supposed to take care of this.
Sure, yeah. And I don't even think it's like they're thinking about it like, oh, this peasant is supposed to. I don't think they're necessarily thinking about it like that. They're just like, oh, it's not my thing to do.
Could it be unconsciously, depending on the person?
Potentially,
like this
I guess.
peasant. Like if they're like tourists, because I
Mhm.
know the mall you work at have a lot of tourists that
Mm,
come by.
Yeah, if we didn't have any
If they're
tourists,
like upper class tourists,
Yes.
you think it could be that?
I think it could be that. I think it could be like these people are like beneath us, like they're supposed to serve us type thing. I've definitely felt that sort of
That's actually
All right.
exciting.
yeah, a little bit.
So yeah, on Japan for me.
My point is, I feel like that sort of shit wouldn't fly in Japan, and I like their kind of like very, they're not loud and obnoxious
Very
and
clean.
Yeah, they're clean
And
and they're not-
orderly.
Oh my god!
Yeah, yeah.
Again, are Canadians
No, but you know what I'm
unclean?
No, I'm not-
unorderly?
No, I'm not even saying especially like I'm not saying Americans or Canadians are like specifically unclean or whatever. I'm just saying they have such an emphasis on being like non-obnoxious.
That you
respectful
see it
people
less
say-
often.
Yeah.
Another example I have is after every World Cup game, the Japanese fans
Clean
stay
up.
behind and clean up.
Yeah,
Every
see?
single one.
After every game they do.
Every
game, every
single?
World Cup game,
Okay.
they stay behind and clean up.
I got the nod from the voice of authority.
That's what I'm saying. Japan just does it right, dude.
Another country I'd like to visit is Tanzania.
Wait, you already gave one.
No, I didn't.
You said.
I give Japan.
Oh, you said.
I give Japan.
I just
sorry.
agreed.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'd like
Tanzania.
to visit Tanzania in Africa because I really want to see the
the Tanzanian devil.
the
I want-
The
Tasmanian.
Tasmanian. I know it's different.
No, this one's
Oh, you said that
it
was
was a joke.
Tanzania.
Yeah, yeah, it was a joke. Like Tasmanian,
You're supposed to laugh.
Tanzanian. It was supposed to be a joke.
Laugh.
All right.
Thank you.
I really want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro
Mm.
and
Climb? You've never climbed a single thing in your goddamn life.
doesn't
You
matter.
want to climb Mount
He's
Kilimanjaro?
gonna go from 0 to 100.
Mount Kilimanjaro isn't
He's
that.
not- he's-
It's
he-
big, but it's not that
Are you
never-
big.
gonna
he-
free climb it? I don't understand.
No.
He's never tried spicy food. He's gonna eat down a Carolina Reaper.
No.
So Glen Eden was pretty
so
hot.
I
personally.
want to do that, and I also want to do a real safari.
Oh, like African safari.
Like a real- like a real
Oh,
African
African
safari.
lion safari.
I like African culture.
I love all of Africa.
All of them.
I don't know much about many African cultures, but the ones I do know about, I'm very intrigued by.
Mm.
And yeah, that's one place I'd really like to visit.
Wait,
Now-
can we
Africa,
cut back?
Africa was very nice. Like when I was in Morocco,
Mhm.
it was fantastic. It was so different as well.
Why
Like,
did I
no.
think that Morocco was like the Middle East? I guess it's in Africa technically.
It's North Africa.
Mm.
yeah, it's north and like.
I mean,
uh,
Egypt is like
Northwest,
Northwest.
Northwest,
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
northwest.
Yeah,
Casablanca,
I can
maybe.
I can also say Africa is pretty splendid.
Is it? I mean, we're both from Egypt, but I feel like
Yeah.
there are certain parts of Egypt that are very nice and like really cool to explore, and then there are other parts that are more like run down. I guess a little bit like old Egypt. I guess.
That's a polite way of putting it.
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to be sensitive about it.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I think it's like I'm sure everywhere you go, there's nice places and there's kind of shitty places.
Yeah.
Even Japan, which to me seems like a really awesome place. I'm sure there's some places that are kind of ratty.
Yeah.
Every place has
There's
like
ratty places here.
I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't been to as many places as you guys, but like
I feel like
the
you've been to
nice-
more than me, probably.
Well, maybe these two then.
Sure. Okay.
But the nice places in Egypt I found are like the bougie places in Egypt
Mm.
are way nicer than anything I've seen in Canada or America that I've been to.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Like,
weird.
it's high
You know what's
class.
weird about that?
Yeah.
The ceiling is so much higher, but like the pits are so much deeper.
Yeah,
It's like
the-
you see so
mhm.
much. You see extreme poverty more than you'd see in anywhere in like Ontario. Like people like all over the streets, just like laying down on the floor, like very much kind of like a New York type look of like people on the streets and shit in Toronto. I guess you would see that in Toronto, but you see like extreme poverty and people who can't even like afford to do shit. They can't eat, they can't sleep anywhere, whatever. And then you also see like palaces of like right down the street. There's like a fucking mansion, and there's people that have like 6th-floor mansions and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like down the street, there's like some lady like begging for food. It's kind of a crazy.
It is. No, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right about that.
If
Yeah.
I can, I think one of the things that all of these more like eastern half of the world has that like I think much of Canada and America is missing is simply just history. Like I think like I've been doing flooring like a little bit now, right? The oldest house I think I've gotten is 1890. Like you walk through like the city that I'm in.
Is that a fart? Honestly, I thought.
I don't think you like.
Holy mother of
Dude, I thought that was a chair. I thought that was a chair squeaking. I thought that.
I thought that was
Patrick didn't even try to let it slide.
because it was so unbelievable.
I couldn't hold it.
That sounded like
I'm
a-
sorry, Marek. I
that
couldn't
sounded
hold it.
like
We're gonna need 2 minutes for Malcolm to go change his pants.
yeah, that sounded like a turd dropped into your
This
underwear.
guy's
Are
flooded
you
his
clean?
underwear.
Are you clean?
Do you need a second to check?
You know that meme where it's like I don't know what it is. It's like someone. There's this meme where there's like someone like someone like with their face all red and shit, and it's like when you flood the mall Santa Claus's lap with diarrhea. That's what I think. That's what I was thinking about.
Flood his lap.
Yeah, flood his lap.
The word flood is crazy.
Just like he's like,
The word flood is
like a
unbelievable.
vein bulging in his forehead. His face is red. He's flooding his lap.
Okay, Marek, sorry. Pick up where you... So, yeah, 1890 was the oldest
Yeah,
history.
but like
You're talking about Canada. You did flooring in
Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the houses here in like Canada and like in the States, like there's not like. Do you need a sec? No, but there's just not as much history here with like I think a lot of things you notice is like the architecture and like how all of it. Sorry, yep, okay. It was architecture.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me?
Why are you still laughing like that?
Because of what you said.
The architecture?
I
Wait,
admit
wait,
it was a
it's-
slip of the tongue.
No,
I
like
said
he said-
architecture.
He said texture instead of architecture.
Oh,
Do not
So
make
the
grammatical mistakes
Are we-
around
are we-
Patrick. He is a flawless human being.
No, that's
Are
not. That's not true.
Are we just finding out that Malcolm didn't know the difference between architecture and architecture?
It's all
Okay,
the
let's
same.
just let it slide. Let it slide. Let it slide. Okay, go on, Marek. Oh my god, the
Um,
show's derailing real
So,
quick.
you'll notice the architecture.
Okay.
And like there's a lot more really old buildings. Like you'll see Old Town and New Town in a lot of the places you go to, and like even like Morocco had an Old Town, New Town, and like that part like hundreds and hundreds of years old, and like all the different buildings you can just see the different styles, and it's like made to last. Like you see, like I'm gonna be taking a trip to like Milan, and I'm so excited just to see even the buildings. Like I've heard it's gorgeous, and Prague was the same way. How like the way the city looked was just unbelievable, and
It was like a lot of cobblestone and shit.
everything, and it looked absolutely gorgeous. Like it was fantastic. I think Prague was one of the most pretty cities that I've been to.
Honestly,
Crazy.
even when my family and I went to Egypt, we stopped in Turkey for a few days, and we were in like Istanbul and stuff, and I was like, it's so much more. I don't know how to even describe it, like diverse in terms
Yeah.
of like their landscapes and the way the cities are organized. It's like it's very pretty to look at, and they have such cool like. I feel like here it's like very boring. It's very like kind of
Yeah.
straightforward,
Plain.
like,
almost.
suburbs
It
or
is.
big city, or there's
Everything's
no
made
like.
to be simplistic.
Sure,
and
it's like efficiency first, as opposed to kind of
make
like,
it look nice. And
as opposed to like artistic type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, artistic. I want to actually build here.
Sure. We're going back to Japan.
Get a chance to put my hat in the ring.
Sure.
I am looking to get my scuba license by the end of the summer,
Really?
and I want to travel to places that have incredible scuba spots.
I'm in.
He wasn't inviting you, Malcolm.
I'm in.
I didn't.
Just letting you know.
That wasn't an.
Where would it be?
That wasn't an
I know. I'm just
invitation.
letting you know.
What kind of
That's what I was
location?
gonna say. I haven't actually done research on good spots. I know
Madagascar.
Great Barrier Reef.
stereotypically. Yeah, I was gonna say Australia. Actually, a lot of stuff about Egypt for scuba diving is
Really?
popping up for me.
Well, that'd be easy, right?
You'd think like any coastal country, like
Sure.
Portugal,
Yes.
maybe Italy,
Greece.
yeah.
España.
I heard really good things about Croatia.
Wow.
They have
okay.
there's a part just off one of the islands. It's called the Blue Cave, and you go in and the water is so crystal clear, and when the sun hits it, you can take like a boat inside, and the whole inside is so bright that it lights up the entire inside of the cave, and it looks like it's a blue crystal cave
That's
because
cool.
all the
Oh,
whole
really?
inside is blue,
Mm.
and you can jump out of the boat, you can swim around, and like everyone has like their scuba gear and everything, and it's just crystal clear.
It's
One
unbelievable. On the point of crystal clear water as well, Iceland, I've
Yep.
heard, has really good water for that. But yeah, so I want to get my scuba license, and once I'm trained and everything, I want to plan scuba trips
Mm.
where I
That'd be
just
cool.
go,
Interesting.
and the purpose is not necessarily to like spend a bunch of money or go try
Mm.
go exploring, but exploring in the sense of the water and under like coral reefs, seeing the life underwater and stuff. Yeah.
Speaking of that, two things. One, I've been really into. There's a mini scuba tank, a portable scuba tank you can buy with you that you can fill up yourself with like a pump, and it comes with a mask and everything, and it lasts for like 10-15 minutes.
Mm.
I've been very interested in buying that so I can do like just like mini scuba diving on my own when I go on like small little vacations or something, and not have to do all the training and carry these big tanks with me and have to
I
pay
feel
and
like
stuff.
now I'm not educated on this quite yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like there's training for a reason. I've heard that depending on the depth you go.
No, I know that depth is definitely an issue.
What do you mean?
Like the lower you go.
No, but what I was gonna say is coming back up is the issue.
Yeah, you have to do it
where
in,
if you
like,
come back up way
mo-
too
like
fast.
moments.
I'm
you
pretty
have to
sure
do
that's
it.
under 10 feet though. Like
If you go under 10
if
feet?
it's like deeper than 10 feet,
Yeah.
then I think every 10 feet or so you have to like
acclimatize
take a little
to the
break.
pressure and
exactly,
stuff,
just so
yeah.
the pressures can even out.
Yeah.
Also, the next thing was I have a book you could maybe borrow. It's called 50 Places to Dive Before You Die, and it just shows like 50 of the best places to go scuba
Oh.
diving.
Patrick
in the
can't
world.
read.
Oh, that was a
You
weird
know you're
joke.
gonna-
That was a
really
weird
cool.
illiterate joke. Okay.
It's really cool. It's got a lot of mini islands out in like the middle of the ocean, and like Hawaii's
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
There you
Hawaii!
go.
How did I even think of Hawaii?
Honolulu, baby.
Crazy. That's actually one of the closer spots, I guess, for
Yeah.
us.
I'm gonna throw out. I'm sensing the nearing the end of this topic, but I'm just gonna throw out
Okay.
one more real quick. To me, California is a big one because and Maddie's right there. Maddie's right, not right there.
He's there.
He's there right now. And to me, it's like movies are like one of my favorite things ever. So I want to just go to Hollywood, California, and I want to like watch a movie there, and I want to see the Chinese theater, and I want to walk around and just kind of like, I don't know, like maybe run into a fucking celebrity or some shit. I don't know. I like the kind of Hollywood vibe, and then also, I'd want to go like Santa Monica Pier. I have family there. I want to visit them, and so that's another one I'd throw out.
Sorry, just to build on that last point
Sure.
with regards to celebrities, and I don't mean to glorify this person too much,
Okay.
but the idea that Messi is going to step foot in Toronto
Yeah, that's crazy.
is mind-boggling.
Oh,
to
because he's
me.
gonna play against TFC.
He's
Yeah.
going to play against TFC.
When is that?
Those
Is that
things are
happening?
gonna. That's like next year or something. The
Okay.
next match they're gonna
I
have.
was looking at the standings for this season. Miami's
bottom.
Yeah.
literally the bottom of their
But
If you
their
check,
division.
since he's joined, they've won both their games and
Yeah.
they're top of their group for League Cup.
Yeah,
is
I
great.
also saw that.
I saw.
I mean,
I
of course they have Busquets and Messi now.
And
They do? They have
Iniesta.
Busquets?
And Iniesta's
Yeah,
coming.
and
and
I
they
saw-
signed Iniesta.
And
I saw the signing of
Ramos
Iniesta.
is rumored to be transferring.
From,
and
And
so-
Jordi Alba.
I saw a comment
Yeah.
about like how they're just like, oh, this club is now like a retirement home for Barcelona players.
and they're still gonna like. I think they'll be because the goal that they had. I don't know if you heard any of
Mm.
it. Like their goal is like get us to playoffs. That's what they
Mm.
told him. They're like get us to
Mm.
playoffs. And listen, I think they may be able to do it. Even like the players, they were not playing great before. Like they had like a couple guys who stood out, but like they weren't playing well together. But now I think he's making the
Yeah.
winger over there look like prime Neymar.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I saw someone comment. There was like one of the top comments on the ESPN post about when he like scored 2 goals and then he assisted this other guy scored
Yep.
2 goals. What was the guy's name? Rob something. I don't know what his name was.
Can't remember.
But this other guy, people were saying like, oh, he played incredible. And to me, it's like I feel like a part of it is probably the way they're training with him now, and maybe he's teaching them things. And then B, I feel like having someone like that on your team
Like
just
B-
is a mental confidence thing.
Mm.
Like I feel like
Yeah.
all of them are just like we're gonna like fuck up some teams now.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna
Yeah.
do some real damage.
Like
here.
Messi's on our team.
Yeah.
Honestly, I never even thought about that. Maybe it's like almost like a mental ease where there's like a load taken off their minds. Almost like we
Yeah.
have one of the best players
yeah.
that play the game. On
I feel
our
like people
side
have.
kind of thing.
I feel like people mentally block themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like we've been stuck in this position for a while, and like maybe you start to believe that it's something wrong with yourself or with your team or whatever it is, and then like you get this kind of like golden ticket, and you're like, now things are different, And then when you start believing them, then you actually start training harder, playing better.
Mm.
So I feel like once you get past that mental block, I mean, I don't know if that's what it is. Maybe it's not.
It could
but
be. No.
yeah.
Yeah, one of the things I've heard a lot, it's like a saying, like they talk about with like teams. It's like a rising tide lifts all the ships in the pier,
Mm.
right? So it's like you bring in that guy or those couple players, and you see the
Makes all the
entire level
difference.
go up. It's like,
Yep.
okay, like that's the standard now. I gotta fight for my position, or I gotta do this, or like
You know what's
Yeah.
interesting?
even, it's
Like the same thing. Sorry to interrupt, but like
No,
the same
you-
thing happens with like, because I've been really into UFC a lot, and like they talk about your skill level. Laundry's going off.
Oh,
But
shoot.
I was gonna say like the skill level of people once you become a champion, once you become a UFC world champion, people say like it's a saying amongst all MMA fighters and shit. They say you get 30% better because like once you have that belt and you have like an entire like for example like you sometimes like if you're for example there's a lot of Mexican champions this year, and once you get like an entire nation pushing you and behind your back and like you become the champion, you're like you get that confidence and you get this kind of swagger about you and you're like, I'm the fucking guy, like everyone's gonna
You're
come
him.
after me. You're him. You're mentally stronger now, and then also you're like everyone's gonna come for me, so you actually start training harder too and like more smart about your training. So I feel like just having that sort of like you said like that golden ticket makes you feel like you
Yeah.
can do everything.
And just very last thing,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I know we've been going long on this particular
Yeah.
topic, but I think Messi does have the potential to lift them up alone, but I think it's really big. Like you said, it's not just Messi; it's in all areas of the pitch. They have class coming in. Whereas if it was just gonna be Messi, I don't
carry
doubt.
them,
I don't
yeah.
doubt he like would have raised the level at Inter Miami. But again, like there are players now in every position, sort of every level of the pitch or third of the pitch.
Yeah, look
that
at our boy
are-
Ronnie over in Saudi right now. That guy's floundering.
No.
They just got ruined by Benfica, like 4-1, and
Oh really?
last week
So-
I think they played West Ham and also like 4-0.
So his team's not doing good at all then.
I'm pretty sure
Or
like,
in their own-
Like
their
domestically,
league, like I think in their league they're either
but they
top,
can't
but like
Mm.
for next season, I think they should be a little worried if they don't start signing more players because there's a lot of guys going to Saudi.
Because
right now.
Ronaldo can't keep
Mm.
it together by himself.
Yeah.
He can't rely
Also,
on
he's
just
like,
him.
I mean, I don't know much about, football, but I feel like he's probably like, I think people talk about how he's rounding like he's like the latter part of his career at this point.
Oh,
it's safe to
he's
say.
been in the latter part of his
Yeah.
career.
I mean, well, yeah. So like, what was his prime? Like United,
His
like
prime
United
was
and Madrid
like-
I
early.
mean, United
started it. Madrid
exactly. The
was
Madrid
where
was the bulk of it.
Mm.
Yeah.
and then Juve, he claims he did something, but
Mm.
like he was.
I mean,
was
he
top
did well. He
Scorer,
did
he
well
was
at
top
Juve,
scorer,
but
I think, in the league.
Nothing crazy.
I just remember when he joined and he scored that bicycle kick. Everyone was losing their shit.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Or was it a bicycle kick, or was it the flying, the really high header?
Oh,
that
where
was
he
what it was.
rose
Yeah.
He
over
rose
the
so
Oh,
person.
high.
yeah.
He got up
That was
there.
That was the one. I was
And I
thinking about
think-
when he was wearing the purple jersey and he scored a bicycle kick with
Yeah.
he was with Real Madrid and he scored against Liverpool in the
Yeah.
Champions League or something.
That was
Or
Juventus.
No, he
Juventus.
scored
Yeah.
against
He scored against
Juve.
Juventus and he scored a
Yeah.
bicycle kick. That's what I was thinking.
You know that header has been beat by a different player now.
Oh, what?
Victor Osimhen.
Hmm.
Oh,
Or, like,
really?
he's a Napoli striker. He's got a crazy vertical. I think he
Mm.
beat it by like a couple centimeters. It was crazy.
Oh my
Mm.
god,
Yeah.
a couple centimeters. Okay, I think it's safe to say that
Yeah.
we took up a lot
We've
of time
talked
here.
the talk.
We talked the talk.
Recently, I went on the venture of selling my phone, my old phone. It's a Samsung phone, and it was the first time I actually by myself went to kind of like put something up on like Marketplace. I've never even tried selling shit before, and I had no idea what to expect. But it's been a very annoying and frustrating process.
What has Facebook
Infuriating.
has been?
Yeah, well, so I've gotten a lot of responses, like dozens.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I find is very common is like people will like see I put it up for $425, right?
$20.
Yeah, exactly. People will be like $200 right now today.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what? What are you talking about? Like it's already a done deal.
150 and I bring you cash.
Yeah, exactly.
They
yeah.
think they're negotiating.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they think they're doing.
They think I'm gonna be like 200 right now. Okay, fuck it. What, 200 now? Okay, fine. That's fine.
You're absolutely right.
Fuck it.
It's coming now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm currently selling my automobile
Yeah.
and
Oh wow, it's a
Car.
biggie.
You could just say car.
my car, and it's the exact
It's
same
very
thing.
bougie of him.
Literally today, I got a message. It was like, $5,000. Can I come around 6? He said I listed it for double that. He
Mm.
said 5. He cut my price in half. He
Yeah.
said, can I come around 6?
Yeah, yeah.
So again, what you're saying, they just.
I think they think it's like a psychological tactic they're playing on you, where they're like, oh, if I'm super confident, they're gonna just be like, yes, fine, all right, I'll lose half my money.
Can I say
Yeah.
that this was a common thing I saw in Marrakesh and in Morocco. Like Marrakesh
okay.
is the city,
Mm.
and in Istanbul. When we walked through the bazaar,
Oh god.
and they gave you the thing for sale, I'd be like, how much is this? And they'd be like, oh, it's 300 so and so, 300 lira. For
Lira,
you,
yeah.
my friend,
Mm.
150.
Mm.
And it's like, okay. And then I realized when I walked through there, and I came
Mm.
back the second day, and I was like, I'll give you 100 and I'll take it right now.
Mm.
You know? And then if they said no, and I said, no problem, I'm going to go to the next guy. And they'd be like, no, let's do 110. And I'd be like, 100, right? And I take it now.
Mm.
And he goes, 105, meet me a little, move a little. And I'm
Mm.
like, 100, and I leave now. And he goes, okay, 100,
Mm.
here you go. So, like, I'll tell you what,
It works.
if you pick a price close enough
Mm.
and they're desperate enough to sell to you,
There's
It'll
the
go.
key though, because people
Desperation.
as well. There's a place called Khen Khalili in Egypt.
Oh, dude, don't even fucking tell me
It's
about
this-
that place.
Yeah,
My
that
parent-
place
my-
is wild.
Bro, my dad was like, don't speak, because then they're gonna hear your accent. Even because I speak Arabic decent, but
Yeah.
he's like, you have a bit of a Canadian accent on it, so like, if you start talking, they're gonna up the price by like at least double. They're
Yeah.
gonna be like,
Oh my
oh,
God.
they're gonna be like 500 pounds, even though it's like actually 200, 250. So
Yeah.
he was like, just keep your mouth shut. And then my dad would like kind of haggle with people, and he would have this technique which I feel like he thinks is like really clever, but I feel like everybody does it, which is like being like, oh, the guy over there said that I could get it for, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
do it for him.
try that
And
too.
the guy's like, oh, that guy didn't know. Don't go to that guy. And then like sometimes it would work. He would match it, or he'd go even lower or whatever. But
yeah. Well, what Mark's saying is absolutely right. I was there with my brother this one time, and I also have an
You
accent on me,
told me about
but
this,
he,
I think.
my brother doesn't speak any Arabic really, so he wanted to get these like little stones, like crystals, maybe.
okay.
Um,
Just say they're crystals. He's a
sure,
crystal guy.
we'll call them crystals.
he wanted to avoid being called the crystal guy.
so I'm talking with the guy. He hears Kevin. He says to me, a number so absurd.
Mm.
I'm just gonna do the conversion was roughly like 150 Canadian, and they're these fake rocks. They're literally plastic, and he was like,
That's like almost 2,000 pounds or some shit. Right?
it was something crazy like
Mm.
that. Yeah, and I told him like I can get this for $3 in Canada. We're not gonna pay this price. And Marek, again, that's what I wanted to highlight, the desperation. He
Mm.
went all the way down to, I think, 100 Egyptian pounds. What's the conversion on that?
That's less than $10.
That's less than $10.
That's like that's like
Yeah.
$6 or something.
He was literally begging like 100,
Mm.
like just buy it.
Begging.
Mm.
But you know what? The accent thing, not even the accent thing, like the way you look
Mm.
and like
You can-
like obviously in like when we walked through Africa,
Mm.
they took their chances on me every single time I asked for something. I actually started telling my friends, I was like, I want that thing there. Can you go ask them? Because when
Mm.
I walked up, they're like 3,000.
Mm.
And then like my friend who's like of Afghan like origin,
Mm.
she was like, how much is this? And he'll be like 1,100.
Mm.
And it was crazy. And then
Mm.
like my other buddy from he's from Eritrea, and they told him the same thing, like 1,100. But then I go up, like I could literally ask for the same thing, and he'll be
Mm.
like $3,000.
Yeah.
That's common practice.
Yeah.
That's common practice.
When I was in Italy, I was on the beach with Isabel, and this guy was selling like blankets to just like sit on the beach, and he comes up to us and he goes, "You want a blanket?" And I was like, "Yeah." Isabel, you want one? She's like, "Yeah, sure. They're kind of nice, just like have on the beach." He's like, "Okay, $70." And Isabel's like, it's because it's euros. It's
Oh,
euros,
okay.
which is still it's a bit more than Canadian.
It
By
is,
a
yeah.
decent amount.
That's like 80 something Canadian. or
Yeah.
some shit.
And Isabel's like, "Fuck no." She's like, $10. And he goes, "No, come on, no, 50." She goes, 10. He goes, "No, okay, come on, $40. She goes, 10. He goes, "No, I can't." We walk away. He goes, wait. 20. She goes, 10. He goes, "Okay, fine, $10.
Oh
You
my
can have it."
god.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I'm saying.
honestly,
Insane.
it's you really got to reflect on that, and it's really sad in a sense because it's
Mm.
they really
It's
they're
their livelihood.
scrambling.
That's
for
what I
money.
was thinking about the whole time. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel bad that I'm trying to really negotiate down to the dollar
Well,
with this guy, but he really needs it.
It's like a double-sided thing, right? Where it's like you on one hand you feel bad for him because he's like struggling, but on the other hand it's like
He's also trying to fuck you over.
It's scummy. It's a scummy behavior to try to be like, oh, I see a guy with like blue eyes and like paler skin. He's a white-looking guy. Like, oh, I'm gonna fuck him over right now because like this is my opportunity to pay my rent for the month or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like I understand why they do it, but I don't respect it.
I have
Yeah.
a funny story for you.
Sure.
Like
For
with the if you feel bad, just know there's somebody paying them back.
Okay.
Because I have a friend of mine. She's from Norway, and her boyfriend went on a trip, and they also went to Morocco. They went a week after we went, and she would go and she would haggle with all these people. She would try so hard and like get the price down and again. And then her boyfriend would go back 5 minutes after they walked away. He would go back and give him the rest of the money for like a little bit of a price, because he was like, oh, I feel bad, like they need more. So he would go back after they just negotiated for like 30 minutes,
That's
and
crazy.
he'd be like, this is for you, like thank you so much, and like like he's going back and he paid them. So I was like, I mean, like it's super sweet, but he's getting chinsed, right? Like he's just trying to he's trying to get like money taken from him anyways.
But to me, like back to like the phone thing, to me the funniest thing is like, I just like how like you said, like the desperation, the urgency. It's like, oh, like 200 right now, like turn around, I'm right behind you type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that Facebook thing that's going on. Like sometimes I'll try to sell like
Facebook.
I'm on Facebook Marketplace all the time.
Well, I'm gonna finish what I was gonna say, and then I want to hear your stories about selling shit, because like I've tried. This is my first time, and this guy planned to meet with me like a couple of days ago in the morning when I got my new phone, and I put it up for $425. And he wanted to get like 300 or whatever. And I was like, dude, the lowest I can go is like $375. I'll go like 50 bucks off. And he's like, okay, cool. I planned a place to meet with him. I go to meet him in the morning, and like last minute he texts me and he's like, I'm gonna get a different phone, sorry. And like that happened multiple times with multiple different people being like, we're gonna meet tomorrow morning. He's like, yeah, sure. And then like tomorrow morning comes, and then he's like, sorry, bro. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We just decided to meet.
That happens all the time. I'll schedule a meeting with someone. I'm like, yeah, you can come pick it up now. And then 3 days will pass since then. And then I'll message them. I'm like, are you still interested? And they go, no, sorry, I found something else. I was like, oh, well, thanks for letting me know. But like I will try to sell like say for like a shelf, for example. I was sold one last week for $50, which is how much I bought it for. So I was happy about it. And someone messages me like $15 I can be by tomorrow, cash. And I was like, I'm not even responding to your message.
Yeah, that's what I've begun doing. The low ballers, I don't even.
You say no.
I don't have time to entertain. Yeah. I used to entertain every low baller and say, I would say something along the lines of this: if they offered half the price that I listed my car for, I would say, clearly you don't know the market. No car of this make or mileage or condition is going for anywhere near that price. So I think you should really look. Like I would give them some sort of like.
You should evaluate.
Yeah, I think you should evaluate.
And then after that, they go, "Where do you live?" I'm gonna come teach you a lesson. No, but honestly, it's like it was very frustrating, and I finally was able to like have a family friend who wanted to buy it from me, and so I'm gonna sell it to her.
And what if they back out?
If they back out, I have many other people waiting, and I told them like I have a deal going on. If something that falls through, I'll let you know, type thing. Yeah,
what's many mean?
Like there's at least like 10 people that are like, is this still available? Wow. I'll pay 400 or whatever.
Oh my lord.
So
okay.
yeah.
Sometimes someone will just message a price which is really unreasonable. I'm not going to take it in a million years. Period. Address ? That's it. They just say they're totally unreasonable price. Let's say I was selling for $70 like a sweater. They'll say $25 address. Can I come tomorrow? I go, I didn't respond. I'm not going to respond. That's a terrible offer. And like people,
what do they think you're gonna think? Like, they're asking for my address.
Tomorrow.
Here's my address.
$35 in my pocket tomorrow.
Yeah. They think that you don't have control over you're just like, address. You start typing it in. You can't help it. Yeah. So I finally hopefully have it set up and everything. And yeah, the second part I wanted to. I mean, how long has this been going on for here?
I'm not entirely sure. But just keep
okay. Because the second part of the conversation I wanted to have was like about technology, kind of, because like this is like my new phone. I've been using Samsung for many years, and now this is like a Google Pixel phone, and I really like it. And it's like super intuitive, and I love everything about it. So I wanted to kind of talk about our favorite pieces of tech that we use in our everyday lives, things that we feel like not that we can't live without them, but they're like it's an essential. Like we need it. This is something that we really like and we really need. So to me, it's like I'll throw out my new phone I really like, and then another thing is like my PS5. I love my PS5, and I use it every day.
Now I don't mean to speak for someone else, but for Marek, the dildo, it's
non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. Exactly.
Yeah, he's right.
Sorry, okay, go on.
So yeah, I mean, if you guys want to jump in, like, what are some of your favorite pieces of tech that you like to use? It could be like a Fitbit. It could be like whatever.
I want to talk about a piece of tech, which is my crappy phone. And every time there's a new update that comes out, it urges me to update it. But every time I update it, it just gets shittier because my phone is old. So let's say the iPhone 14 comes out. There's like iOS 14 something update. I updated to that because my phone's getting slow and it keeps telling me every day update. I update it. My phone just dies slower by every time I update it. By 11 a.m. my phone's at 10%. I'm at work and I need it for like maps to figure things out, and I'm just there like I can't use my phone now at all.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard people talk about how they purposefully slow down the phones over time, and also like naturally your phone does that, but then they like with updates kind of fuck it up. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it's like I said with my phone, like my phone's battery life for this one compared to the other one is like double. So like I've been liking that a lot. I've been liking a lot of the features. Like it has this really cool feature where it detects your face when you're laying down, so it won't, even if you have auto rotate on, it'll like keep it locked. So like you're laying down and it just keeps it.
Nice.
And there's a bunch of cool shit like that. But yeah, I don't know. What kind of pieces of tech do you guys like a lot?
I think honestly my favorite, like I got this when I came back. So my family got me the Apple Watch when I came back from Poland as a birthday gift. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've taken off very much other than to charge and like shower and stuff. But like whenever I'm in the gym or I'm working out, like it's so like I'm also like I'm big on running as well,
Sure.
like you guys know. And like that was probably one of the most convenient things is that like I don't even have to take my phone. Like I can play music to my AirPods straight from the watch if I just like save it to the watch.
I like that because I don't like carrying around a clunky thing.
Exactly. Like podcasts I can play from here as well. I just have to like pre-download them, which takes like 10 seconds before. So if I know I'm going on a run and I'm like I want to take my phone, I'll just have it with me. But like
it has heart rate shit too, right?
Everything like heart rate and like actually funny story with the heart rate. Every night that I fall asleep with it on, it gives me like low heart rate warnings because it goes like below 40. It gives you like a warning. It's like, yeah, your heart rate dropped below 40 for more than 10 minutes, and it's like I'll see it and I'm like, okay, like my heart rate's at like 35 when I'm sleeping. And like mind you, I've been like running, like I'm like I know my heart health and cardiovascular health is very like good, right? Like I know all of that, and like it'll tell me, it's like, oh, you're at like 35 beats per minute, like should we go SOS, like, you know, like are you dying? And it's,
imagine if there was a feature automatically calling 911 when it
there's like slip and fall stuff in here. There is like if I like hold it, it's like I have emergency, like I can call SOS like right from here. And it's like
I've thought about the Apple Watch before in terms of like I feel like I've made comments to my dad and to other people who have it, and I'm like, I don't really get it. Like I don't know what the point of it is. Like to me, I didn't really see the personal function in it, but like I could see especially if you have that kind of active lifestyle, it's something that is super versatile. Like you can take phone calls on it.
You can talk right into it. Like I thought it was the coolest thing. Like it goes and I'm like, hello, and it has like a walkie-talkie function, and like
it's cool.
Like if other people have an Apple Watch and you add them as a contact, you can be like, hey, come in, Malcolm, and then Malcolm can be on his Apple Watch at like fucking 4 in the morning, and he's like,
that's cool.
And I like how you can personalize it too. You can change out the straps, the different colors,
straps and like the screens and everything, and it's all like, honestly, I was very impressed with how good the display is, and like I have all of my texts. Like I could call Patrick if I wanted to from here, and I could just like bring it up and be like, hey, call Patrick, and like it'll go.
It is a pretty nifty thing. I think I could see why people really like it. I didn't really understand it at first, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Another thing I have to complain about is
complain
about. Yeah.
You haven't been complaining.
I said I have to complain about.
Sure,
go
for
on.
it.
Because I complain, you know, my first thing. When I would finish runs a couple of years ago, I'd always walk into the house and I'd have headphones in. Instead of taking my headphones out, I would always turn the volume down on my phone. So I wouldn't take it out of my pocket. I just know that which side has like the volume. I just press low, low, low. And what the iPhone had in place, which I had to take off, was if you press the home button like a certain amount of times and the volume button, it'll just call the police for you.
Ooh,
I can't tell you how I've called the police like 4 times after runs, and it would be dialing. I go, fuck. And I hang up and I get a phone call later saying like, hey, like what happened? Do you need help? Like, is everything okay? This is 911. I'm like, no, it was an accident. And they it sounded like they got angry. They're like, you need to stop calling 911.
I mean, do you blame them?
I don't, but that's a terrible thing. I mean, it's not terrible, but it was very inconvenient for me, and it made me unhappy.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to contribute to the conversation
Sure,
as well,
go for it.
but I don't want to say my phone because I just feel like...
But a phone is so pivotal to like your everyday life. And to me, it's like...
But that's why I don't want to say it, because it's pivotal to so many people's lives.
Yeah, but to me, there's like specific things that like relate to, like, for example, like there are specific functions in certain phones that are like very applicable to you personally. Like, for example, Marek's talking about his phone with like him running and stuff. It applies to his life. Like, is there anything that your phone does that you're like glad that it does because it's very personal to you? Like, you like that sort of thing?
Oh, there's an incognito mode.
Oh,
Nice.
no.
I'm just playing.
First the
Damn.
dildo
I
is
can
now
throw- I'm gonna-
incognito. You're clearly
Here, I'll
you're
throw,
s-
it,
get
I'll
your
throw out
mind out of
another
the
one.
gutter.
I'll throw out another one for myself. Well, you think if you'd
Go
like.
for it. No, yeah,
So-
go for it.
But another piece of technology that I really like and I've been using a lot lately, I've gotten these new earbuds and they look like hearing aids. I have very weirdly shaped ears. Like they don't fit earbuds properly. I've tried switching out the little like pieces. You know, it comes with like 3 different rubber
Yeah.
pieces.
Yeah,
I've
just
tried to
the
switch
tip.
them out. Yeah, I put the tip in, just the tip. I don't go deeper than. And
Just the tip.
That was you that time. Go on.
then it just falls out. I start working out and I'm not even running at this point. I'm just doing weightlifting and it just falls out. And like my ears are just very strange. I
Yeah.
can't get an earbud in there properly.
There's
so-
over ear ones.
So I found some over ear ones, and I kind of found a couple of different versions. One was like a bone conduction thing where it like wraps around like, with a bar the back of your ear,
Mhm.
the back of your head, and then like it's kind of like a visor.
Dorky.
Yeah, it looks a little silly. So I didn't get that one. And then last time I went to Best Buy, I saw this really cool one that was like just like they're completely wireless, and they wrap around. They're like silicone, and they wrap around your ear, and they are like, but the earbud actually sits over your ear. Because the bone conduction one just sits like kind of by your temple or
Yeah.
whatever, so it wasn't very loud or clear audio. But this one like went around, and then like the earbud piece like sat over my ear, so it was like very nice and loud and clear. And they're waterproof, and they're super comfortable. Feels like you're not wearing anything.
Well, how often do you need that feature?
What?
Waterproof.
Every time I'm working out, I'm sweating.
Very often.
So
for
you don't
me
want.
as
I don't want
well.
it to get gross.
Oh.
Yeah. So I
I feel like sweat proof. I feel like sweat.
spits all over his mic.
Why'd you have to? Why'd you have to say it,
he's,
bro?
he's prepping the mic.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, I'm just gonna. I digress.
No. Go ahead. What is it?
I was just gonna say I feel like sweat proof and waterproof are 2 different.
Okay.
Like
I mean, sweat is water.
waterproof. Usually they like it like talks about like the depth it can go and like how
No, but
how much it can be like encapsulated in water.
But this one is like, I mean, it's kind of branded as like a working out
Oh,
ear, but like it's like meant to be good for that in terms
I
of
see,
like
okay.
yeah. And then anyway, so I've been wearing that a lot, and then also it's kind of like, what do you call it? Ambient noise. It's one of those ones where it's not noise canceling, which I like.
Mhm.
I like being able to hear my surroundings. So like it's very loud and clear, but yet if I snap, it's very loud. I can hear my snap clearly. So people are talking to me and I can hear them, but if I turn up the music to like the max, then I can't hear shit. And it sounds really nice. So I've been using that every day at the gym, and when I'm like on the treadmill and I'm like strong jog, it's not even moving. It's like perfectly secure. So I've been fucking loving them.
Are they also rubber tip?
I believe no. The actual
'Cause-
like the earbud tip is just like metal and it just sits over your ear.
Those are the ones I had the problem with. Like,
Mm.
I had rubber tip ones, and like I tried to, like they were supposed to be like an AirPod
Mm.
type thing, right? But like with the rubber tip, and even
Mm.
like I think the 3rd gen or the AirPods Pro,
Okay.
like they have the little rubber part
Attachment?
And, yeah,
Mm.
and I personally like they don't fit my ears ever. Like I
Mm.
tried the smaller ones, like and the big one, and all of them. Like they just I couldn't get them to stay.
Yeah.
And then I bought AirPods, and I've never had a problem with them falling out.
Mm.
And the only problem is that they weren't waterproof. Like the 2nd generation
Mm.
AirPods are like slightly water resistant, but like
Mm.
I realized the more I work out and the more like I sweat in them, like I've had them for almost 2 years now. But like I realized that after that, like they really start to have a problem with like
Connecting?
yeah, like they're just starting to get like water damage. Like
Mm.
because like, you know, like I've worn them out. Like mind you, I've also like gone runs in the rain. Like for me it's
Mm.
all the same, right? But like for the AirPods I've realized, okay, this is a problem, so I'm
Mm.
trying to upgrade to like the next, because the new
Mm.
ones that they made are
Fully waterproof?
fully waterproof. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like those a lot, and to me they've been like a perfect solution for my weird ear problem of not being able to use earbuds, and then also not liking the clunkiness and awkwardness of like that kind of over the like wrapping around the ear shit.
Yeah.
This is completely wireless, and they're like super comfortable. They were really expensive, but it's like one of the best purchases I've made in a long time. So
Off topic, but when I was
Yeah.
little, I used to see people with wireless headphones that had like, it was
a band thing.
It was a band that went on around their neck, and
Yeah.
they had buds that came out and retracted into that band.
Mm.
And when I was small, I thought that was like a new version of house arrest. And whenever someone had this band around their neck, I thought they were like under arrest and somehow allowed at the grocery store.
It's like they came out the new version of house arrest.
I don't know. I was small and I was dumb.
Thank you for that contribution, Matthew.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say about the topic. It's a little bit more boring, I guess, but I just wanted to talk about the frustration of like selling shit.
I
and,
can
you know.
actually loop back to your selling thing.
Okay,
Because
sure,
like,
go for it.
because this is actually to do with Patrick's stuff. Like, because I sold my car before I left to Poland, right?
Oh, you got rid of your blue Subaru?
I
thing?
did. I sold it before. I was so sad. Like, I
It was
cried.
many years with you,
I
right?
cried. I was so
Mm.
sad. And like, I walked home. I remember I sold it at like the parking lot, just like the school in front of my house. And I
Mm.
walked home and I was like, damn, this is a miserable walk. You know, I just have like my house keys on here. I'm like, this feels light. You know,
So
missing car
what were you doing in Poland? Was like all like public transport's like really easy?
Public
I feel like it
transport is
probably
a
would be.
million times better in Europe.
I've
than
heard
it is here.
that.
It's
I've heard it's like very like seamless, just like in between
everywhere,
cities
and it's
stuff.
so cheap.
Mm.
Like I paid, I think it was equivalent of 30 cents
Mm.
for a 15-minute bus ride,
Damn.
and the trip from the west side to the south side of Poland
Mm.
cost me 10 Canadian dollars,
Mm.
and
Just-
it was really easy. But sorry,
No, it's
not
okay.
like the back to like the car thing. So when I was selling mine, not only did I get lowballers, but I also got like, does it have safety? Does it have this? Is this included? Is this leaking? Is this?
Mm.
And I'm just like, come see the car for yourself. You
Mm.
know, like just come see it. And like my favorite was like I entertained maybe 2, maybe 3 people max, but 2 people came to see it. And I loved the people who are coming in and like kicking the tires. I'm like, what are you
Oh,
gonna find out
God.
by kicking the tire, bro? You're not checking no
I think
pressure
that's,
here.
that's
Like,
disrespectful too.
you
Just,
know, like,
fucking with your
or
thing.
they're like looking in all the wrong spots, and I'm like,
Mm.
and they're like, does it work? I'm like, yeah, it fucking
Mm.
works. Like it drives. Like, what do you want me to tell you,
Mhm.
right? Like, nah, it's shit.
They
Like,
go,
I'm sorry, I'm trying to scam you
they
right
go,
now. Like,
take
take it for 5.
Does it vroom vroom?
Yeah,
Or what?
like, oh, it was fantastic. But
Mm.
it was absolutely terrible to deal with people when I was selling it, because they were like, and the winters, can I see them as well? And I'm like, yeah, they're in bags. Like, can you take them out of the bag so I can see them? I'm like, here's one. He goes, can you take them all out? And I'm like,
Mm.
No.
I just don't have the. I have very little patience for that.
Yeah.
All that
Yeah.
stuff.
I think what you should do, next person that sends you a dumb offer for the car and they're like 5, even though that's like half, just be
Yeah.
like, deal, and just like send them somewhere, but have the address be like,
oh my
have the
God.
address be like a clown shop or something. You'd be like, yeah, you'd
The
be like,
love
oh,
shop.
like this is a dumb spot, and it's like, yeah,
Mm.
for a dumb price, here you go. You know,
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
You just,
something
you just
like
like put
that.
the address as like a sex store, and it's like, and they go, what the hell? They go, you fucked yourself.
yeah, exactly.
You know? All right,
I like
well,
that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I give Matthew a hard time almost every episode about this. I actually forgot to say the whole
like,
comment,
comment,
subscribe in
sure.
the beginning. So we're gonna do that right now for the 5% of people that stay
Sure.
till the end of the show.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed the show, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on social media, rate the podcast on the various platforms we offer it on, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and for no one that asked, Google Podcasts.
Yeah.
If you hate the show,
Let us know.
Then send it to someone you hate, and
Yeah.
as punishment. Yeah,
Mm.
we
Yep.
don't mind that.
Tell us how to do
but yeah.
better.
Sorry.
Tell us how to do better.
Thank you for watching.
Malcolm.
And we'll see you next time.